Okay, today we are going to talk about the dominant strategy. So we can say that the dominant strategy is a strategy that dominated the game. Means that for that strategy, there exists another strategy that is at least as good, regardless of what the opponent does. And the advantage of the dominant strategy is that we can reduce the size of the game. For example, if let's say we have 3 by 3 matrix, the pair of table, now maybe we can reduce into only 2 by 2 matrix. So it will make your calculation easier. Okay, so let's look at this example. We have player A and player B. And for player A, we have these 3 strategies. Strategy A1, A2, and A3. And for player B, we have B1, B2, and B3. One thing that you have to remember is that in the pair of table, okay, so the player on the left here is the one that is trying to maximizing the outcome. And the player on the top is the one who is trying to minimizing the outcome. Okay, so when we compare the strategy, for player A, we will try to look for the one with the higher value because we want to maximize the outcome. And for player B, when we try to compare the strategy, we try to look at the lower value because we try to find the minimum value. Okay, let's compare strategy 1 and 2 for player A. Okay, if we compare 0 and 5, 5 is greater. Remember, we have to look at the higher value because player A is trying to maximize the outcome. Then, if we compare -1 and 4, 4 is greater. And if we compare 2 and -3, 2 is greater. Then we cannot say that strategy 1 is greater than 2 or strategy 2 is greater than 1 because some of the value 1 is greater and some of the value strategy 2 is greater. Then we try to compare strategy 1 and strategy 3. So we compare 0 and 2. So 2 is better. Then we compare -1 and 3. 3 is better. Then we compare 2 and -4. In this case, 2 is better. So, again, we cannot say that strategy 1 is greater than strategy 3 or strategy 3 is greater than strategy 1. Now we try to compare strategy 2 and strategy 3. So we compare 5 and 2. So 5 is better. We compare 4 and 3. 4 is better. And we compare -3 and -4. In this case, -3 is better. So we can see that for strategy 2 and strategy strategy 3, no matter what is the strategies for player B, so for player A, strategy 2 is always better than strategy 3. So in that case, we can say that strategy 2 dominate strategy 3 and we can cancel this out. We are now trying to compare the strategies for player B. So first we try to compare between B1 and B2. Okay, strategy 1 and strategy 2 for player B. Remember, for player B, we have to look at the minimum value or the lower value. So when we compare 0 and -1, so -1 is better. If we compare 5 and 4, 4 is better. So we can say that strategy 2 dominate strategy 1. So in this case, we can cancel strategy 1. Then try to compare strategy 2 and strategy 3. Okay, so when we compare -1 and 2, -1 is better. Then when we compare 4 and -3 is better. So in this case, we cannot say that strategy 2 is better than strategy 3 or strategy 3 is better than strategy 2. So after reducing this dominant strategy, then we can say that we have reduced our matrix from 3 by 3 into 2 by 2 matrix.